Good evening, ghosts and ghouls. Here we are with episode 2 of the Horrible Podcast, and we're going to kick off our review, our very first review. There's another way I would want to start it off than with one of my favorite franchises, and Halloween Ends. So, we just saw this a couple days ago.
Yep.
In theaters, because I wanted that personal experience of seeing it in theaters. Saw the other two. Really can't get into a new movie that's on the cock.
The Peacock.
The Peacock.
Yeah, we've been going to the theater seeing these movies probably since 2007 with the first Rob Zombie film.
Yeah, pretty much.
And every Halloween since we've went to the theaters.
Yeah, you even got to see the original in theaters.
Yeah, Flashback.
Also. Yeah, which if y'all ever get a chance to check out Flashback, do it. So we went, even though the other ones it was all straight to streaming services, I'm still a firm believer of going to the cinemas and getting that full experience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm a huge Halloween fan. So I really don't believe it's like I try to even find the good in Resurrection. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm that guy. So
yeah, and I'm sure down the road we will probably do a entire Halloween franchise review.
We're gonna
rank them, countdown, whatever you want to call it. We definitely that would be a lot of fun. But today it's all about
the end.
The end.
This is the
Halloween
end of the trilogy.
Ends, baby.
Technically the fourth in the series because it went off the original. 79, then 2018, then Kills, and now where it ends.
Right.
Which, to give you a brief rundown, I guess, of, it was my all-time favorite for the original Halloween. But, talking about Halloween 2018, I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I really liked it as well.
I mean, we really haven't talked about rankings. I gave it a solid 8. I thought it was really good.
We're talking about 18?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think it was a really good movie. I'm sure later on we'll get more in depth to it.
In depth.
Excuse me, the two youths, Mr. Gambini.
Mr. Gambinis.
But yeah, I guess it give you a little bit of background of what we thought of the previous two, because of course everybody knows that we loved the very first 78 John Carpenter classic. It was number 1 on your top 15. It was number 3 on my top 15. So yeah, I would say a solid 8 for 2018 was appropriate.
Yeah.
Now, as far as Halloween Kills, it pissed off a lot of people. A lot of people didn't like the dialogue in it. A lot of people thought it was maybe below a writing for a Halloween film. I felt the exact opposite. I love the film. I felt like everything that people were complaining about were legitimate complaints, but I tried to find the reason, and the reason made sense to me, so therefore it didn't bother me. Evil dies tonight. They said about a million times in the film, which is one of the complaints. But at the end of the day, that's what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to represent that mob mentality.
But I mean, honestly, like a mob, like how rational,
right?
Is a mob going to be? Like they're going to say stupid shit all the time.
Yeah, when you get around
over and over and over.
Yeah,
again.
when you get around a mob or a cult-like deal, logic kind of goes out the window, and they're kind of there for a purpose and an agenda. And a lot of things that they say, like I said, is not going to make sense, and it's just going to be for the sake of their argument.
Right.
But, anyway, it's all about the end today. And you want to start this off? Tell us your thoughts.
Absolutely. So this is not a slasher movie, really. I mean, it's probably like the least slasher of the series since part 3, and that had nothing to do with it.
And you know, even if you do call it a slasher, it's not exactly the slasher that you're expecting as far as who's doing the slashing.
Right. Do you want to kind of do like give them like a little synopsis and then go into spoilers, or you just want to just dive into it?
Well, let's just dive into it. I mean,
all right. So
let's give them a little warning before we talk about this film. This is going to be spoilers without giving you too much of the film, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's going to be one of those things where we're just going to assume you've already seen the movie and you just want to check out our opinions.
Or if you just want to try to save money, or if you just want to hear somebody talk about it and go with what they say, which if you want to roll with us, that's fine. But, alright, so, it's kind of has more of a psychological aspect to it. Actually, it has a large psychological aspect to it. It's, Michael really isn't the main focus of the movie. He's the main focus to a certain extent, but once again, it's kind of like, that mob that, ran amok and kills has created, local
paranoia.
Yeah, local paranoia, and people are being victimized because of what happened with Michael.
Yeah, they're quick to point the finger. They're quick to point out somebody that's acting quote unquote weird to them.
Right. Well, the main guy in this movie is Corey.
Yeah, his name's Corey.
I'm not exactly sure of the actor's name.
We don't dive too much in details about that.
Like who they are. I mean, you've got a phone. It's 2022. IDBM. Look them up. But the guy that plays Corey, he does a fantastic job.
Yeah, for the script that they went with and the character that they presented with him, I think they do a very good job. And to go back to what you were saying earlier about how Michael isn't the focus, that's definitely true. But it's kind of a psych out. It's kind of like, here's a story. It's a brand new story. Michael's not really all that a part of it. But wink, wink, he kind of is.
Right.
It's kind of
he's the cause of it. Maybe he's not a part of it.
Right. To me, the movie comes full circle. It gives you this WTF type of vibe, but at the end, it comes back to it. Now, the question is, did you like that journey that you went on to get back to it? A lot of people that's been reviewing this film and a lot of things that I've read, it's been very mixed. I would say that unfortunately right now it's a lot of negative than positive on the film as far as people taking that journey.
Right.
One of the big complaints is that what we're just talking about, Michael is not in it a whole lot.
Maybe 20 minutes tops.
Yeah. But in my personal opinion, it was enough story there for this new character and this new story to keep me intrigued and not piss me off. I can understand the fact that other people are mad about it and they go to a Halloween film and they want to see Michael Myers. But again, I'm a big logic type of guy, and if the story makes sense, then I'm okay with it. And to me, this made sense. I mean, you could have went down a different path, but I mean,
how many times are we going to see Michael stalking Lori?
Right. I mean, this would have been the fourth film of nothing but Lori and Michael, and that's not counting the H2O and the first beginning of Resurrection.
Yeah.
So That, you know.
Fuck yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, you know, how much more of a story is left? I mean, there's not much more of a cat and mouse story to be told.
Right.
I mean, and when Michael and Laurie finally come together in this film, it's a fight. You know, it's a fight to the death. It's what it is. Mm-hmm. Some people think it should have been longer. Some people think it should have been more brutal. Some people think it should have been, you know, more epic. I was fine with it, considering the fact that Michael is still human in this particular storyline.
Well, a lot of people are saying he's superhuman.
Yeah, I mean, no, he's obviously... I mean, this movie is supposed to take place 4 years after Halloween Kills. I'm not sure if I like that jump that far.
I don't really like the jump that far. I would have said maybe a year or 2 years tops.
Yeah, I would say...
That's one negative about it. Like, I don't understand why 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Other than the fact to establish that these characters have indeed moved on and let down their guard. Yeah. But that really wasn't the storyline being told.
Not really.
You know, Michael is not the big menacing stalker in this. He's not brutal. He's old. He's worn down. He's beaten up. And he shows it. Maybe for the first time in all of the franchise. And maybe that's one of the reasons why people didn't like it. They don't want to see their favorite villain in a vulnerable position.
Yeah.
But if they are going with the human side of Michael, and indeed he is human in this particular storyline, that makes total sense. And again, I'm a logic guy. If it makes sense, I have no problem with it. And to me, it made sense that Michael was the way he is. You know, in the storyline, Michael would be in his late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, old.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, kind of like, my thing is, like, a lot of people are saying, oh, he's supernatural, or he's superhuman and stuff like that. But, like, when did we establish that, like, I mean, you're kind of basing it off the other movies.
Yeah, you're basing it off a timeline that the creators of this new timeline has clearly told us doesn't exist.
Yeah. And I mean, like, they're saying, well, he got shot, 6 times. Well, I mean, 50 Cent got shot, and he's a real person, several times, and he's still fucking alive. I mean, so why is it not like, Michael, when he got shot, was in his 20s?
Yeah, he was 21 in the very first film.
So, I mean, the odds of him recovering was better.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, I don't remember, watching the 2018 or Kills and them doing the whole super, natural element to it. I mean, he got his ass beat in Kills and then, like, bounced back.
I mean, he's a tough son of a bitch, but in the long run, in this film, I think they did a good job of showing you how that took a toll on him. Like, you can be a tough son of a bitch upstairs all you want to, but when your body breaks down on you, it's going to break down on you.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Like, Michael has the drive to be this killer like he's always been. He just physically can't really do it.
Yeah,
and
that's what came off to me also.
Yeah, and that's what I got from it, and that's why I had no problem with Michael being down in the sewers and kind of being out of public view, and he he's down there because he knows nobody's going to come down there and fuck with him.
Right.
And
kind of like, the
maybe he doesn't,
that goes and dies.
Maybe he doesn't want to run into that fucking mob again that's going to beat the shit out of him.
Right.
Because he's obviously not in a position to where he can